All right, everyone. Welcome to the October 2022 general meeting of the 43rd Democrats. We've got a great meeting tonight. We have got Emerge Washington here. We have got the Washington Health Trust here to talk to us. And then we've got a number of the candidates that we have endorsed who are here to talk to us with ballots dropping imminently so that we can hear from them one last time before we all vote. Let me call this meeting to order. And let me start with the land acknowledgement. Although we are all joining virtually here tonight, we'd like to start this event by acknowledging that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. If you'd like to learn more about whose land you occupy and have occupied, see the map at native-land.ca. Just as a reminder, for meeting operations, we've got chat off. We have people on mute for right now. If you need to seek the floor, use the reactions features in Zoom to raise your hand, and we will recognize you and call on you. That's what we've got there. Norms: treat each other with dignity and respect. If you don't know, ask, step up, step back. We're all volunteers. And so if you are able to participate and volunteer with us, please do that, but please don't dominate the conversation. And together we can stay on time and get out of here at a reasonable time. We use Robert's Rules of Order, which are parliamentary procedures. If you don't know the details of Robert's, that's fine. We will help you participate. If you'd like to contribute, raise your hand and I'll call on you and we'll help you form your request into a motion. You have a right to participate as a full member in our meetings. If you need us to slow down, explain what's going on, just please raise your hand and ask. And as a reminder, please use Robert's rules for good and not for evil. We use them to help us facilitate progressing through the agenda in good time and not to clog things up. All right, let me move over to the agenda. So we have the agenda here. I would like to approve the agenda. Do I have a second on the agenda? Just somebody raise your hand. And thank you, Christopher. And then we also have the minutes from September. Give me 1 second here while I put the link to the agenda in chat. That was a link to the agenda in chat there, so y'all can click on it yourself. We have the minutes from September, which are linked here in the agenda. I will put that into chat as well. We have a second on approving the minutes from September. All right, thank you again, Christopher. Okay. Okay, let's see. Very briefly, just a chair report from me. As a reminder, with winter coming, if you haven't gotten your COVID updated booster, also called the bivalent booster, I'd encourage you to do so. Got a link in the agenda that will take you to where you can find those. Also, if you haven't heard, Biden, hopefully everyone has heard, Biden has got the form up for the $10,000 student loan forgiveness. There's a link here as well. If you have student loans, make use of it. If you have friends and family, make sure that they are aware of it. I encourage everyone who is benefiting from this to take action on that right away so that you get your student loans forgiven before the end of the year. And then the third thing is that the State Redistricting Commission met today. We sent an email out about this last week about the maps that we're going to segment up Fremont into multiple districts. And the State Redistricting Commission met today, and they reverted their proposal to approximately what the Redistricting Justice of Washington Seattle chapter had proposed, which keeps Fremont whole and puts it in with Wallingford in District 4. You can see the map here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. District 3 is here, which has much of the 43rd in it. And then District 4, which has some of the 43rd in it, is here. Oh, sorry, I was incorrect. They've moved Fremont in with Ballard and District 6, not District 4. My apologies on that. There's a link in the link here in the agenda will take you to that map. All right, and with that, do we have Emily Carmichael here? If you can raise your hand so we can find you easily unmute you. We have Emily Carmichael here as the executive director. Oh, sorry, before we go to that, I see you, Linda, if you can unmute. Yes.
So I just want to say two things. Number one, thank you so much for supporting keeping Fremont north of the Ship Canal. And the final map, which you just saw, it's not the final, it's an amendment that will be considered further, but it looks like it might get their agreement. Keeps Fremont north of the Ship Canal and in districts 4 and 6, which we've been ever since districting started. So we're really grateful for your support. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Linda. Just put a link to that map in chat as well. All right. And now we've got Emily Carmichael here, who is Executive Director of Emerge Washington, which is an organization that encourages Democratic women to run for office. And Emily, looks like you're muted. Please take it away.
Great. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me tonight. As Paul said, I'm Emily Carmichael. I'm the Executive Director of Emerge Washington. I'm also a brand new member of the 43rd District during the redistricting process. I was moved from the 37th to the 43rd, and I'm a PCO here. So I'm really excited to participate now in this legislative district. So Emerge Washington has been around in Washington State for 5 years. We just celebrated our 5th birthday, and we recruit and train Democratic women to run for office. We have over 200 alums now in our state that have been trained to run, and many of them have run for office, and 48 of them currently serve in office. Up and down the ballot. So we have a lot of school board members, city council, county council, up to state legislature and Congress. We are in the process of recruiting for our 2023 cohort, which will start in January. And that's the reason that I'm speaking to y'all tonight. So I'm here to encourage any of you who are interested to check out our website. I think Paul just put it in the chat. Thank you very much. You will find, I'm not sure which link he put in there, but under the candidate training tab, that has our application process and a link to our applications for our training cohort, which, as I said, kicks off in January, and that runs from January to May. It's about 60 to 70 hours of training, and you'll go through the training with a cohort of around 25 other Democratic women. The applications are due on November 10th, but we will definitely be extending that since that is just only a couple of days after the election, and a lot of the people that will be applying are definitely politically active. If you have any questions, my email address is emily@emergewa.org. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a phone call, a Zoom call, coffee. As you know, I am local, so I'm happy to meet with anybody that's interested. Or if you have a friend or somebody that you know in your community who you think should really run for office and should do this training, please send them my way. And yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to seeing more of y'all soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Emily. And I put the link to the training page on your website in there and your email as well. Thank you very much. All right. Next up, do we have Carrie Wallace or Andre Stackhouse here? If either of you could raise your hand so that we can call on you. Andre, I'm seeing you. All right. Andre? Andre, are you there? Right. Might be having some technical difficulty here. Let me see if I can message him. All right. While we wait for Andre to talk about the universal health care, let's move on to some of the endorsed candidates. Let me put the link to all of our endorsed candidates and ballot measures here in chat, so everyone has that. We've asked, as I said at the top of the meeting, we've asked our endorsed candidates to come and talk to us once more before the general election, so we can all get to know them a little bit more. And with that, let's see. I think that I saw Frank Chop was here already. Yes, Frank Chop. We'll ask you to mute. Each of the candidates and representatives for the ballot measures, you've got about 2 minutes or so each to speak and to let's see. Frank, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just waiting
Okay.
for you to.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. All right. Take it away, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. I also want to thank the 43rd District Democrats for endorsing me. I'm having a great time this year, having no opponent for the first time in about 40,000 years. So I really appreciate the opportunity to just focus in on the issues that I'm preparing for next legislative session. It's extremely exciting. Let me give you some quick highlights. In the interest of time, I'll just talk fast. Right now, we're bringing online 900 affordable housing units in the 43rd District as we speak. In fact, if you get a chance to go up to the Roosevelt Light Rail Station, right on top of the light rail station is Cedar Crossings, which is 240 units of affordable nonprofit housing. That's social housing with the Early Learning Center run by Ascension de Raza. That was a result of a bill I passed several years ago requiring Sound Transit to free up surplus property and air rights above light rail stations for affordable housing. It's a critical thing. It's very exciting. Also, if you live in the Capitol Hill area, go to Madison and Boylston and see a 17-story affordable housing project that I led the way to get the property and the funding for 350 units of housing, all nonprofit social housing, 120 of which will be for homeless seniors. Plus, we've used state funds that we've put in the last budget to acquire several properties, including the dockside apartments and the south side of Green Lake. So if any of you like, the old fish and chips place called Spud Fish and Chips, well, guess what? It's coming back to the neighborhood on the first floor of the dockside apartments. Above the restaurant, by the way, will be 100 units of housing for homeless folks. And so it's major victory, and we're going full blast on all sorts of projects. It's really exciting. So for next session, I have 5 major things. Probably that's the ones I can think of right now. But one of the key parts is to expand the Apple Health and Home program that I passed this last session, which is basically saying that if you are homeless because of your medical condition, like mental illness or substance use disorder or major physical disability, then you shall have a home as part of your medical treatment. It's leading the nation in policy, and we've got $160 million allocated in the capital budget to start carrying that out. Also, another real exciting idea is that, I hear all this talk about the lack of BIPOC home ownership because of all the racism that's been going on for decades, both in terms of redlining, but also restrictive covenants in real estate that literally banned people of color from living or buying homes in quite a bit of neighborhoods here in Seattle and across the state. So I proposed a covenant reinvestment account working with a coalition of many stakeholders. And we are suggesting that we raise a particular assessment on documents that are being recorded by the state to go into a fund, the covenant reinvestment account, to aid people who are BIPOC and lower income, but still can afford a home. We will use that money to provide significant down payment assistance to make a real difference in the whole issue of equity in terms of generational wealth. We're talking about $3 billion over the next 20 years. This is a very significant proposal. I think it's probably going to lead the nation in terms of those kinds of things, but the state of Washington was complicit in this outright racism because guess what? The state of Washington recorded all those racist documents, and you can literally go online at the University of Washington and see the actual documents, the language that was used, which was incredibly bad racist language. So we're going to try to fix that with the covenant reinvestment account. Also, I've got several other proposals, including a major package to provide additional state funding, about $900 million per year for people who have disabilities, not just the developmental disabilities, but others as well, in terms of providing important services to people who have disabilities, ranging from help for social services for developmentally disabled, but also attack the real lack of funding on special education or public schools. I can go on, but I think I probably exceeded your patience. So thank you very much for the endorsement. If you want to know some of the other things I'm doing, you may call. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank. All right, next up, Judge Damon Shadid. Are you here? Saw you earlier. There you are. I'll ask you to unmute.
Hey, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, everybody. My name is Judge Damon Shadid. I am a judge in Seattle Municipal Court. I've been a judge for 8 years. And I'm so excited to speak with the 43rd District Democrats. I'm so proud I have the sole endorsement of every single district, as well as the King County Democrats, Democrats for Diversity and Inclusion, and Young Democrats, sole endorsements from all of you. And the reason this is so important to me is because you guys are the litmus test. You guys are the ones who really determine whether or not a candidate is viable in the city of Seattle. And I have felt so supported and so much encouragement from the Democrats in what I'm all about. And what I'm about is reform. What I'm about is having a more compassionate criminal legal system that actually tries to help people rehabilitate and get connected to the social safety net instead of relying on the jail as some sort of cure-all, which we all know it's not. And we all know that it's more destabilizing than helpful for our community. It's people like the 43rd District Democrats who understand that so much of the crime in our community is a public health crisis, that it's stemming from lack of substance use treatment, lack of mental health, lack of housing, of course, food insecurity, education, and so many other things. And if the municipal court is doing one thing well, it should be that we are connecting people to the social safety net instead of trying to punish them for things that many times are their fault, but many times are not their fault either. And so, my opponent has made her entire campaign about getting rid of the community court that we started, but our community court has been a wild success. Out of the people who graduate my community court, 80% of them do not have any new criminal law violations after 2 years. 80%. This is something that I hope you're proud of, because I'm very proud of as well. I'm also proud of how much we've expanded the mental health court and started other programs like getting services to people directly from the courthouse. Your support of me also supports these projects, and I thank you so much for it. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much, Judge Shadid. All right, next up, do we have Pooja Vadati here yet? It doesn't look like it. Let me try again with Andre.
Hello,
Andre.
I'm here
Oh,
now.
there you are. Okay, we see you now. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll come back to all the candidates after Andre of Washington Health Trust speaks to us here about universal health care in Washington.
Thank you so much, and for the patience. Is there any chance I could get screen share? I did throw some quick slides together.
Yes. Sophia, you able to grant that?
Yeah, I just made him a co-host because I can figure it out. So
It's still not letting me do it though. It's okay if we can't get it working. I'll just summarize the same points. Yeah, let me just jump right into it. Thank you for getting me on your agenda tonight, everyone. And I give these presentations at a million of all the LDs that I can get to, but I always love the ones where I can come in and start with thank you for endorsing Whole Washington. LD 43 has been with us long enough that I actually don't know that I personally have presented to this LD. So it's really meaningful to have your support. And I want to throw out another thanks for Frank Chop, one of your representatives who's been one of our endorsers for a long time. Reading the quote off of his endorsement, healthcare must be seen as a fundamental human right. As a leader in the creation of Washington State Apple Health Program and the Medicaid expansion, I support the need for a new dynamic in providing healthcare for all. This is all the more evident in the time of the COVID pandemic. And yes, we really appreciate all of the expansions to healthcare that we've had. And we really think that we need to finish this until we have a true universal healthcare system. So thank you for your endorsement. We threw together a little graphic and thank you on Twitter. So if any of you happen to log in and look at that today, it's just our way of saying thanks for your support and that we always want to work together. And I just wanted to remind folks, especially because I was here and Frank is here, that we have a legislative version of this initiative as well. And so we're going to be introducing that in the next year. And it has 8 Senate co-sponsors and 12 endorsements from people in the House, but it has not yet been introduced in the House. So we would love to work with LD 43 on expanding our legislative reach, expanding our legislative strategy. And so every LD has 3 representatives, and we are fortunate that this one has 1 endorsing, but we just also want to request that if anyone wants to help us push for endorsements from your other 2 representatives, we would certainly be willing to work with you on that and meet with their staff, talk about the details. But our coalition has expanded greatly this year. And I've got a graphic with a bunch of them, but the most recent and exciting endorsement is Students for a Democratic Society at University of Washington. That's the largest student organization. I wanted to show you some lit, but since I can't, wholewashington.org/print, and you'll see that we have these great quarter sheets that focus on healthcare from a labor perspective, from an anti-poverty perspective, from a feminist perspective, because this issue really touches everyone. We have a great 8.5 by 11 sign that you can print at home that you might have seen around the state. We've got lots of people putting these up, but it's a really easy way. You can just print it out at home or your local library, put it up on a phone pole or something like that. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out that we have a fundraiser on the 17th. It's actually a movie night. The movie is called Not Going Quietly, and it's at the Grand Cinema in Tacoma. So you can mark your calendar for November 17th. Check our website, the event calendar, for more details. But it's about a well-known healthcare activist who was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 32 and has really dedicated his life to creating a healthcare justice in the United States and a true universal healthcare system. And this is a documentary about his story. We always want to ask for more volunteers. This campaign is still active. So if you want to get out there, we are still bringing in new volunteers all the time. We're running regular orientations and training. So wholewashington.org/volunteer. If you want to get involved, you want to collect a signature or two, ask your family and neighbors. And if you want to just get involved right away, you can go to wholewashington.org/sign, and you'll see our bins all across the state of Washington where you can drop off any sheets that you might have or pick up a sheet and gather some of those signatures. And if that's really too far out of the way for you, I'm really excited to announce that we also have a mailing system now. So wholewashington.org/mail, and you can just get, put some information in and we will send you a sheet. One sheet is 20 signatures. So we really appreciate all of your support in making Washington the first state with a universal single-payer healthcare system, something that we can be proud of and bring to the rest of the country. But there are many ways to be involved, and you just have to come to a meeting, get in touch with me, whatever gets you involved, we want to facilitate. So thank you very much for the time tonight.
Andre, can you speak a little bit about what the ballot initiative will achieve for Washington if it passes?
Yeah. So Washington, we have the initiative and the legislation, and what it would do is it was effectively would have the state of Washington create a public insurance plan that would cover pretty much everyone. The only major exceptions are the VA and Indian Health Services, which are kept separate for specific reasons, but anything that they can't get covered by the VA or IHS, they actually could still get covered by the Washington Health Trust. So it would supplement all of our care, and it would cover all major healthcare needs, including dental, vision, hearing, mental health, reproductive care, full coverage of abortions in a time where we're losing Roe versus Wade. And it does not matter your age, your income, your employment status, your citizen status. If you live in the state of Washington for 30 days, you're covered and you won't be handed a bill when you go to the hospital because it's fully covered by the Washington Health Trust. So this is similar to other healthcare systems that we see around the world that manage to cover everyone at dramatically less cost than in the United States. And so we're actually talking about saving between $5 and $13 billion annually just for finally achieving universal healthcare coverage. So this would be a game changer for our health and our economy. And we 100% can get this done. If we can get the signatures this year, it would go on next year's November ballot. And as I said, we'll be pushing for this in the legislature as well. So we want this, we want it as soon as we can get it. And it is an incredible campaign to get involved with. We need all types of people. I always say we're trying to create a universal campaign for universal healthcare. So whether that's gathering signatures, retweeting stuff on social media, we have people who knit merchandise. There are a million ways to get involved, and we would love to be in touch with you. So please go to wholewashington.org for more information, and I'll try to share my contact information in the chat.
Thank you. Is there anyone who has any questions briefly for Andre? Let's see, Linda, yes. Oh, let's see if we can get you unmuted. There we go.
A number of years ago, we worked really hard on a similar plan. And I'm wondering how much that was part of your thinking. We actually got it passed and then it didn't go into effect because we needed ERISA waivers that were not granted.
Yeah, so ERISA is one of those very policy weedsy sort of challenges that that has been a challenge for the universal healthcare movement. And one of the innovations of Whole Washington, first, we actually did base our plan itself on many previous plans, including the Washington Health Security Trust or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was called. We know about other initiatives in the 90s. And the way that we have handled ERISA, one of the things that's actually different is we have a Universal Health Care Commission now. And that's a permanent entity that we task with acquiring those ERISA waivers. But the other thing is that we structured our plan such that we can begin funding this plan without ERISA waivers. So we actually raise enough money to pay for this plan, even if we are unable to receive the ERISA waivers that would allow us to incorporate more federal funding. But in addition to that, we leave ERISA alone in that we don't try to compel folks who are covered by ERISA plans to be on this plan. And the other thing that I'll add is there is one successful challenge to ERISA that has ever succeeded in court, which was done by Healthy San Francisco. And Healthy San Francisco is the closest thing that we actually have to sort of a city level version of what we're talking about. And there's a lot of reasons why statewide works better than citywide, because you can build more of an economy of scale and the border, you know, is clearer, whereas people move in and out of the city all the time. But the important thing is that Healthy San Francisco was challenged on the basis of ERISA, and it succeeded over that challenge. So there's legal precedent, and we based the way we handle ERISA off of Healthy San Francisco. So it does present a challenge, and we hope that we are able to acquire the ERISA waiver in time, but we don't need the ERISA waiver to begin the implementation of the plan, and the plan works without the ERISA waiver. So ultimately, it allows us to create the most unified, the most cost-effective healthcare system, but we don't want ERISA to be something that makes it so that we can't create this plan and begin covering as many people as we can with it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, Andre. We've put the link to the Whole Washington website in chat. Andre's got his contact information in chat. If you want to learn more or get involved with the campaign, please contact Andre. And thank you very much. All right, we will move back to candidates. Let me put the link to the agenda in here again. And I think that I saw Pooja Vadati join the meeting. Pooja, if you can raise your hand so we can easily find you to unmute you.
Hi, I'm here.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you all so much for putting your faith in me with your sole endorsement for position 3 at Seattle Municipal Court. I've taken the stage here before to tell you about my vision for a more competent and fair and compassionate municipal court. Rehabilitation, reconciliation, and restorative justice remain pillars of my judicial philosophy, and with your help, I'll bring them to the bench. In May, I challenged Judge Eisenberg for several reasons. Because of his bias and lack of integrity, because his rulings violate due process, and because he has a reputation among the defense bar for undermining women who represent defendants in his courtroom. It's become apparent that there's an even more important reason that I must win this election. Over the course of the campaign, we have found that my opponent's reputation was just the tip of the iceberg. I proudly count among my volunteers and supporters women who are current and former employees of Seattle Municipal Court and who describe a toxic workplace caused by sex-based discrimination and verbal abuse perpetuated by my opponent, Judge Eisenberg. More than a dozen individuals have come forward to describe disturbing and abusive conduct, and most are afraid of personal or professional retaliation if they came forward alone. In the coming weeks, my campaign will highlight the stories of these women, all of whom are putting their careers on the line to speak out. When a man in a position of authority uses fear of retaliation to silence dissent and avoid accountability, it is a terrifying thing to speak out. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support. I am so proud to have the endorsement of my own legislative district. Thanks for letting me speak tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Pooja. Next up, do we have a representative for King County Prosecutor candidate Lisa Mannion here? If you can raise your hand. Julian, we'll unmute you.
Hey folks, my name is Julian. I am Lisa's field manager. I am representing her in lieu because we are at a banquet here in in Chinatown, and so she wasn't able to join today. But it's going to be really important next couple of weeks to highlight, Lisa's differences from her opponents. And, Lisa is the only one who's been endorsed by all King County Democrats and the King County Democrats organization.
Julian.
So
Julian.
It'll be really important to this for restorative justice principles and making sure that we are enhancing victim services, making sure that we are, really addressing the root causes of crime. And so, just want to highlight Cody, who's been joining us at our various events. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Julian. Your bandwidth seems pretty low, and so we've missed a lot of that. It cut out. If you wouldn't mind, maybe just cutting your video and just going with the audio.
Stable?
Yeah, it was. Hold on. Did we? All right. Let's unmute you again. Sorry. Can you mute yourself, Julian? Julian? All right, we'll come back to Julian. Hopefully the technical difficulties can get worked out again. Okay. Do we have Nicole Macri? We do have Nicole Macri here. Nicole. There you are.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much. And apologize, I'm in my car here. Hi, everyone. I am Nicole Macri, and it is my great honor to be here. I'm running again for state representative here in the 43rd district. And I just want to thank you all for your strong support of me as your representative and for my candidacy for re-election. I wanted to let you know I'm working hard. I was in Olympia all day today. I'm in Olympia right now, getting ready for session and working on a number of issues, including and especially abortion access and healthcare issues in general, and working with my caucus on bringing a really big housing agenda forward this session. I mostly want to make sure that I put a plug in to all of our PCOs to get the word out about this election. In particular, we have some statewide electeds on the ballot, like Patty Murray, who is going to really depend on turnout from strong Democratic districts like ours. And so while I am so grateful for your support of me and sending me back to the legislature, I hope too that you'll work with me to ensure in these final days leading up to the election that we work to get strong turnout in the 43rd legislative district. I encourage any of you to reach out to me to talk about issues that are important to you, particularly state policy issues. So reach out to me anytime. And I look forward to connecting. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Nicole, for taking time out of your drive to speak with us. All right. Julian, are you back again? Julian, are you there again? Let's see.
I'm facing a lot of bandwidth issues from being on my hotspot.
Okay.
But if Cody wants to speak, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. More than happy to. Paul, is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Or anything.
And so, sorry, one thing, Elaine, I saw your hand. We'll get to you after Cody speaks.
Cool. Yeah, so Lisa Mannion, as many of us on the call know, is running for King County prosecutor. Lisa Mannion has been chief of staff in the King County prosecutor's office for the past 15 years, and I think is well equipped to step into the position, and I think has an eye and a nimbleness that will be really effective in it. I think Lisa Mannion, for, particularly for youth and for nonviolent offenders, I think is really good at finding kind of rehabilitation programs, right? While also ensuring that the community is safe and protected from violent offenders. And I think that in that way, I really appreciate Lisa Mannion's ability to be nimble. I'll also say all the canvases that I've attended so far, Lisa Mannion has also personally been at. So she's out here kind of, putting rubber where, whatever the term is, where the rubber meets the road, and I think really out there talking to voters. And so I'm really excited that we've endorsed Lisa Mannion, and I'm happy to continue helping get Lisa Mannion elected. And I hope everyone on the call feels the same and wants to jump into a canvas. They got plenty of them. And if for some reason you need any help with resources, you're welcome to message me or message Julian.
All right. Thank you, Cody. And thank you, Julian, as well. Elaine, you had a question. You raise your hand.
Yeah, this is just a quick question to Nicole Macri about the whole Washington and whether it is something you are considering to endorse as well.
We'll see if Nicole is able to.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm driving. So let me just pull over. Here, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed the presentation this evening. I will admit that I'm not totally up to speed with the current ballot initiative effort, and if it is the same exact policy as has been proposed in the past. I am a strong supporter of universal health care. I, having worked on health policy for a really long time, have just concerns about how we actually take action to enact it, like truly implement it. I've been instrumental in establishing our permanent Universal Healthcare Commission. So I feel like before I give you an answer on the fly, I really just need to study what's in the current initiative. But I will, continue to fight hard for us to take steps to implement universal health care and to move towards definitely a single payer system in Washington state. And I think that's what whole Washington does. But again, just don't want to commit to something I'm not super familiar with at the moment.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering that, Nicole. Okay, next up on our list, Seattle Proposition 1, Ben Chapman. Are you, no relation? Are you, let's see, you're here. Let me get you to unmute and go for it.
That's me. All right. Thank you, Chair, for the time to speak this evening. My name is Ben. I'm a resident with 43rd, as well as the communications manager for Fair Vote Washington. Thanks to this group for endorsing ranked choice voting. You are in good company. Over 30 organizations in Seattle have joined you in endorsing Prop 1B for ranked choice voting for Seattle. These groups include the League of Women Voters of Seattle-King County, the King County Democrats, and leaders like Representative Frame and Senator Saldana. You can see that full list of endorsers at RCV4, that's number 4, seattle.org. And I'm just realizing my face is kind of dark. Sorry, I don't have good lighting at this spot. But ranked choice voting is a tested, proven upgrade to the way we vote. It encourages positive, issue-based campaigns and gives voters more say in who represents them. Evidence shows it also boosts representation for historically underrepresented communities and brings more voices to the table. So, how can you help us get Proposition 1B passed in Seattle? Well, one way is just by helping folks know how to vote for it. So if you go ahead and follow at Fair Vote WA, that's at Fair Vote WA, W-A, on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll be putting out some graphics soon about how exactly do you fill out the ballot for Proposition 1, because it's a bit of an interesting one, and we want to make sure voters know how to fill it out. We know Seattleites want ranked choice voting, but our step right now is just showing them how to actually fill out their ballot and getting out the vote, basically. So in summary, please vote yes on question 1 to change our elections, and then choose Proposition 1B for ranked choice voting. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. And the last one on our list, let me just make sure this is the last one before I do this. Yeah, the last one on our list, King County Proposition 1, Guillermo Zazueto. Are you here, Guillermo?
Hi, Paul. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Hello, everybody, and just want to thank you for your time. I am keeping my camera off. I do have similar bandwidth issues. I hope you can hear me okay throughout this quick little update. We are on track. So for the folks that maybe weren't at previous meetings and heard me speak and are unfamiliar with Proposition 1, a quick recap, it is a conservation levy rate increase countywide on property taxes for the Conservation Futures Program, which is a 40-year-old program that is used by so many crucial groups in the conservation world, whether it's King County Parks, Seattle Parks Foundation, or other nonprofit groups. It is on track to passing. We do have some good results out of some recent polling. Over 65% of voters in King County do support this measure and are on track for some good results. A quick update, over the last couple of weeks, we've really been digging in with one of our primary voter contact strategies, and that is increasing our media visibility with the campaign. We recently did appear in a segment with the Seattle Channel, the City Inside Out segment with Brian Callanan, who is great and did really great reporting on that. I do encourage you to go visit that website and check them out. We did also hold a press conference just earlier this week on Monday with the County Executive Dow and other local leaders. This will be appearing on a few different local publications like the White Center Now blog, the West Seattle blog, Como News, and others. So definitely keep an eye on that. We are distributing some county-wide mailers to your home, and you may or may not receive one in your mailbox soon, together with your ballot. A really effective voter contact strategy for specifically levy rate campaigns. You know, we always do have that one. No real big organized opposition for this campaign, but there are folks who do see any sort of property tax increase and will vote no. So, you know, what we're sort of doing for the last couple of weeks before election is encouraging all of our endorsed groups, all of our legislative districts and their members to reach out to a friend or two, a family member who you may think will vote no, or if there's anyone within your personal or professional networks that is thinking of voting this election, do remind them about King County Proposition 1. We really thank you for that effort. And besides all that, I am dropping a quick link to our website where you can actually find our news articles that I do keep updated regularly. And if there could be a way to follow us on Facebook, you could do that as well and boost our visibility there and get up-to-date reminders on how our campaign's going. You can find our full list of endorsements on that website as well. And I will make one last mention. We do intend to list the 43rd District Democrats in our second round of mailers coming next week, closer to the 24th. So want to just thank the 43rd District in general for their support. Back to you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will put the links to our full list of endorsed candidates and ballot measures in the chat so you can easily find all of that. We've heard from a subset of people today, also endorsed as a reminder, Patty Murray for the U.S. Senate, Pramila Jayapal for U.S. House, Steve Hobbs for Secretary of State, a number of Supreme Court, Superior Court, and District Court judges. And let's see, for municipal court, in addition to Pooja Vidadi and Judge Damon Shadid, also Willie Gregory, and in ballot measures, in addition to ranked choice voting for Seattle Prop 1 and 1B, and the Conservation Futures Levy King County Proposition 1, we've also endorsed the King County Charter Amendment 1, which is for even year elections. And let's see, Cody, is there anything additional you'd like to say about getting out the vote and the upcoming election?
Oh yeah, are we? For some reason, I thought that was happening later in the meeting, but I can definitely jump on that now if we want. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So every PCO should have in their inbox kind of a breakdown of all the basically all the canvases that I've been attending that I would love other folks to attend as well. Happy to give folks a ride. And also the Google form to request a get out the vote list for your own precinct. So I'm going to share a couple of those again here right now. Give me a moment. Well, I'll share it after I get done talking because I think you'll just hear me like typing away for a little too long, but I'll share the Google form and I'll also say for the next canvas that I'll be doing, I think it'll be an impactful one for national races as well as local races. It's helping Kim Schreier out in Issaquah. It's at noon this Saturday. Again, happy to give folks a ride. So I'll share both those links in the chat here once I'm done talking. If you're a PCO, you already have that link in your inbox. The one note I'll add to that is in my inbox personally, the email that I sent went to my promotions tab. So not my spam filter, but sort of my promotions tab. So if that's something that you have, if you have Gmail, be sure to check that just to make sure that you get it. But yeah, I think we got some good work left to do in our get out the vote season. And I'm excited to help folks get plugged in however they want to. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Oh,
Okay.
hey, Paul, you got my back. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll do the Google form, but yeah, that's
Okay.
that Canvas link.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we'll move into the committee reports. First up, mutual aid, Dawn. I'm seeing you here. Let's get you unmuted. Let's see, Dawn. Did we lose Dawn? We might have lost Dawn. All right, next up, Sophia, was there anything you wanted to mention for King County Democrats?
No updates for this month.
Okay, thank you. And Amy, State Committee.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, so the main thing I want to tell everybody about is that we have a fantastic, huge Get Out the Vote rally this Friday, 5 p.m. With Senators Patty Murray and Elizabeth Warren, and Governor Inslee and a whole big crew of other speakers. So we'd really want to encourage you to come out. It's right after ballots drop, 5 p.m. Friday, October 21st at the Seattle Center Mural Amphitheater. I will put a link for how to sign up in the chat, and also the link to the Facebook event. But yeah, come on out and show support for these great leaders, and get pumped up about getting out the vote.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's see, and I don't see Dawn joining again for the Mutual Aid Committee. We will get the Mutual Aid Committee report out in the Slack channel and in meeting notes if there is anything there. All right, and with that, ballots are dropping this week, I think. So look for them. Talk to your friends and neighbors to make sure that they get the ballot and that they fill it out. It will be important for us to make sure that we elect Patty Murray for Senate, as well as all the other endorsed candidates for this November election. And Amy has put the links in for that rally into chat. Please take a look at that. And with that, are there any good of the order from anyone? Just raise your hand and I will call on you in turn. Anyone have a good of the order? All right, I am not seeing anything. Let me just, one last question. If anyone has any questions, comments, etc., before we call this meeting? All right, I am not seeing anything. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you to all of our candidates who came tonight to talk to us one last time before ballots are available. Please remember to fill out your ballot and encourage your neighbors, friends, family to also fill out their ballots. And with that, good night, everyone.